What's going on, Geekdom? This is Chipmunk. Yeah, wanted to do a my take and review of Halloween Kills. Um, I had just seen it yesterday, and so I just wanted to talk about it a bit. Uh, so yeah, spoilers if you haven't watched Halloween Kills, I would say go ahead and watch it. So yeah, that's your time to go ahead and click off. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. Halloween Kills, to me, I'm gonna just say how I kind of felt about it first. Um, I thought it was pretty pretty nicely done. I wouldn't say it was like the best thing ever, but it was still pretty good. It's to me it was pretty good. I still liked it a lot, just how they blended like the old with the new. Blended the I think it was part two. I want to say it was part two. They blended a lot of part two, and they blended part one a little bit as well with the new with this new movie. Um, and it continues on. It continues on from the last Halloween movie that was out. Was it 2 years ago? I can't remember. I had an argument, I guess, or a talk, I would say, with my roommate about Michael Myers, and I think one thing that I think was strange with uh, this film, as one of the things I thought was just strange, is how to make Michael Myers even less human. Because we had talks before, and it was like, well, Michael Myers is like the only uh, like big villains as far as like horror movies and stuff goes. The classic villains like Freddy or Jason or the Leprechaun, stuff like that. It was like he's the only one that's like human out of all of them. But if you were to see this movie, even some of the other movies, some of the older ones, I would say as well, they make them less human. This one definitely makes him less human. Um, yeah. Just as a spoiler for it, the ending, they the crowd finally were able to find Michael, and they beat him up. Everything, they worked together to knock him out, shoot him. He was shot several times in the chest, stabbed in the back of his neck and everything. And he still was able to get up and just start slashing and killing everybody. So I was like, he is not human. He can't be human if he was able to take that and still survive. To me, you just can't take that and survive. I don't care who you are. You take several shots to the chest and you get stabbed through the neck. Most likely, you're not gonna get up, especially that quickly. Uh, I can't say that you wouldn't survive it, but just getting up like that would be very difficult if you're a human. So I would say he's not human, and that's implied through the movie. He's a monster or other stuff. Uh, so it's been implied throughout some of the movies, but hey, uh, this was this was like a crazy one as far as me, and it leads into like the next movie, so they can do another Halloween, because I really feel like in the for this to end, it has to be a battle between uh, both of the top characters. You know, has to be a battle between them. So yeah, I think that's the only way it could end. That's my opinion of what I think. I think that's what they have to go through, is just both of them fighting it out to the end. Till both of them die or one of them die. But yeah. Another thing that I just want to touch on about, I think what they did for the movie that I think worked so well, in I don't know if a lot of people will catch on to it, is how they break down how people actually act. In the movie, We all know that the whole town was up in arms. They wanted to go out and kill Michael. They wanted to go out and chase him down and kill the evil that's been haunting their town for 40 years. I don't think he was actually haunting their town for 40 years. Uh, I don't feel like that just because even though that he's affected the town, I don't think he's haunted the town because most of the people seem like they stopped caring. Because no one prepared or prep themselves to fight Michael if he ever escaped again. Y'all didn't too much care. Only one person actually cared and prepared themselves for this to happen because they knew this was going to happen. So he didn't really haunt the town for 40 years. It's just it's just now that y'all care because he's out. Just say that y'all want revenge now because he's out. But yeah. So the whole town, or a lot of the people in the town that was wanting to kill Michael and everything else, uh, they one person in particular, but they whipped themselves into a frenzy. At the hospital, they seen someone with an inmate, clothes on, and they thought it was Michael. It was one of the missing inmates that they couldn't find. Um, that they mistook as Michael, but none of them ever seen Michael to actually tell. But that's what they had thought and believed. This is Michael, and they have to kill this evil and everything else. And I like it, and I like that so much because that's how people would act. If you look at a lot of stuff that happens in news and stuff like that, that's how people have acted for years. And it's an action done through emotion. So you had like someone whipping everybody into a frenzy, getting them hyped, getting them emotionally drawn into doing these acts that would be seen as horrible acts. Even though they thought they were doing the right thing, they're doing the righteous thing, they're doing something that's so good and what they need to do to fight evil. They're doing something evil, and without even thinking of, hey, what could this be? They're not using their brains to actually figure out the situation and what's actually happening. They're all acting in emotions, and that happens in real life so much. We don't even realize how much it happens. It happens with protests and even celebrations, where people get riled up in their emotions that they act in horrific ways due to how emotionally drawn they are, how their mind is so tricked and played by someone driving their emotional state. So everything to them seems rational, even though it's not. I like that play on that they had did with it. But yeah, I love that so much. I love that scene so much. I think it was emotionally drawn for me because I'm like I understood it so well, and especially how the inmate was acting, how scared he was. All he wanted to do was just hide, even though he's probably done a lot of bad things in his past, and it probably wasn't. It was due to his mental health because it looked like he had mental health issues as well. But it's like the stuff that he's gotten into, the trouble he's probably gotten into. He still probably did some horrible things. But you still feel for him that this mob is out there trying to kill him, trying to get him, mistaking him for somebody else. And so, he does self-destruction in order to get away. And it was sad. It was sad, but still, like, man. Like, I couldn't help but feel that emotionally because of my own mental health in cases of me and with people, and how I feel like I have to run away from people. So yeah, I felt it so much. So that was one of the best scenes to me in the whole film. A while, probably I liked it. A lot of the killings and stuff could be like nonsensical. I thought some of the stuff in the sayings were kind of nonsensical in the film. Like, everybody go home, run to your houses where you'll be safe. No, he's going inside people's houses and, taking them out. So, yeah, being in your home is not the safest. If he's taking you out on the streets or in your home, he's going to take you out. Being home isn't the safest place. I'm sorry. This monster man, whatever you want to call him, if he wants to do whatever, he's going to do whatever. But yeah, I like the film enough. I still say there were some issues and stuff with it, but I still think it was pretty good. I think it's worth the watch. If you're a horror fan, it's definitely worth the watch. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. If you haven't, but yeah, most likely you have if you're still on this video. So yeah, it was awesome. I thought it was awesome for what it was. It's not that many good horror films out there, so it's hard to actually be like, oh, like out there like now, like this year especially, it's not a lot of them that's really really good to me. So it's like my expectations are kind of probably a little bit less, I guess. Probably the reason why I liked it a lot, just because there's not a lot of horror films that's out this year that I'm like, are that top notch. We'll definitely see. I'll definitely put a list out there for my top horror films for this year. So I'll probably do something like that. But, yeah, let me know what y'all thought about this in the comments below. And I'm waiting on Antlers too. Before I even do the video, I'll probably wait on Antlers. Because the Antlers look like it might be pretty good. But, yeah. Again, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. How y'all feel about the film. What y'all thought about the film. If y'all thought it was good or not. What y'all felt about some of the scenes. Like I just stated. The arguments between this, he really human or if he's a monster. Stuff like that. Because that's the arguments that I just had. Because I don't feel like he's human. But yeah, thank you all so much for just jumping on and giving me a try. I really do appreciate it. Please do take care of yourselves and each other. Peace, geekdom.